Yo, what's good, YouTube? What's good? It's STORMYBMAN, and I am back welcoming you to the post-fight show with STORMYBMAN for this Saturday, December 19th, 2020. And we're just cleaning up after the mess that was Canelo versus Smith. The WBA and Ring World Super Middleweight Championship that was scheduled for 12 rounds, and it was shown on the DAZN app. So we are here to talk about it, and I got my man Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens in here with me, and we're going to talk about the fight. Reggie just got finished calling the fight, and it was another showcase for Canelo Alvarez. It seems like we are seeing more and more of the same when it comes down to this brother that goes out there and makes certain that nobody can stand with him. So, with that being said, let me bring Reggie on in here. How you doing, Reggie?
Doing good and mad at this bull crap.
Yeah, man. It was not anything that I felt good about as I sat there and listening to your call and whatnot. And I just happened to say, hey, as we got, to about the 5th round, 6th round, that's when I had written in your chat. I said, you know what? I'm giving Canelo every round after this unless this man knock him down or knock him out, because the guy didn't come to win. But I would like you to go ahead and open up with your thoughts about the fight, because you just called it. It was fresh with you and everything. And I'll piggyback off of you as you make your remarks.
Man, my thoughts is this dude came in here not to give anything. He was big. He was a big dude. He was strong. It was nothing Canelo can do with him. Canelo load up on his stuff, and even without having the factual evidence or, scientific proof that he failed the test, Canelo was in here juiced up because they didn't bring no test out for him. And Canelo loading up with all this power had not one effect of buzzing this dude or really hurting him with nothing. So his show column was very strong. He's very big in here. But did he come in here to fight? Did he give any resistance? Did he give himself a chance to win? Not at all. He wouldn't pull on these jabs. His jabs kept early in the fight, kept Canelo out on the outside. Canelo couldn't figure out how to get in on this dude. But what did this dude do? He throws away the jabs and start walking on the inside, trying to land in these, these punches that cut your dang distance, firing off hooks, throwing in uppercuts, which I don't think he landed a uppercut the whole fight. He probably threw 100 of them. If he threw 100, maybe I'll add that he did hit him with something. Maybe he landed 3 uppercuts out of 100, and it was just stupid. What are you firing uppercuts for? What are you stepping on the inside? What are you leaning forward over your front foot? What is the purpose of that? Then Canelo's jabs start opening up on this dude. Why is Canelo hitting you with flush jabs? And you're supposed to be this hot, this tall. This dude had about an 8-inch height advantage over Canelo. It was not. It should have never been that Canelo had any of the bruising on this dude's face. This dude laid on the ropes, walking back the whole night. What was the dang strategy that they were running with? It wasn't no strategy. It was going out here, fall down to Canelo, lose these belts, take the money that you were granted from getting the opportunity of fighting Canelo. It was sick. And then to even begin of how long this fight got delayed. This fight was supposed to be over about 45 minutes ago. They pushed this thing back once again for another Canelo fight to come out and showcase this kind of junk. It was crap. And this dude should never be brought to America. His rights to traveling across the Atlantic should be banned. The next administration needs to ban this dude, Colin Smith, from even applying for a license to come over here and fight in America. This dude stunk up the place. He's trash. He gave no effort. He gave no showing of representing his family, representing his country. He didn't do anything. He just came in here to be a punching bag for Canelo. And it just looked obvious. Like, it just looks too obvious. And I see moments where Canelo struggled against this dude at moments when he did use the jab, when he did throw punches. Canelo couldn't throw back with him. It was whack watching that crap.
Yeah. Reggie, I'm looking at it like this, and I should have put this mandate out there prior to now, but from here forth and over the last 3 fights since beginning after his rematch with Triple G, Canelo Alvarez opponents, no matter who it is, are not coming to fight him to win. They're not. And because they're not coming to win, you're only going to see certain individuals across from him, opposite him in the ring. You're not going to see anyone hungry. You're not going to see anyone looking to make a name and make a claim in the sport. You're not going to see someone who wants legacy. 2 reasons. 1, that's not who he's looking to fight. Let's just get that out of the way. 2, they are trying to continue the process of making him a standout that is without flaw, according to the eye test. Now, that eye test is not your eye test. It's not my eye test. It's not us who are invested in the sport with the dedication and the observation that we have and bring. It is for the layman. It is for the fan base, which has a huge audience, okay? Which is why you have some of the veterans that don't really give him the credit that they are withholding from him, because a lot of them who are now retired, recently retired, and some are even training young fighters today themselves, they are the ones who did it. They went through, they took losses, and they battled their contemporaries in challenged matches, sometimes for pride and glory, not even for the money. The money comes when you have a name in the sport. The money comes. But you look at guys like Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales, okay? You look at guys like Juan Manuel Marquez and his brother Raul, and you look at the Gabriel Ruelas and Rafael Ruelas, all of those fighters that I'm naming, Fernando Vargas, you know, these men, Felix Trinidad, these men fought with pride, national pride, okay? And they fought with will and spirit. A great deal and number of them had skill sets, but they never achieved the legendary heights that they achieved by walking around the divisions looking for a lesser opponent to continue the course of what was perception. That's them being successful fighters. That's them being someone that can be marketed in a certain sector that is perceptively flawless. Okay? Let's just say it for what it is. Now, there'll be people out there who want to dispute that. But if you do want to dispute that, check this out. Go and look at those men's dossier and see that I'm not lying. Okay? Check. Remember, Stormy always say, if you don't want to take it from me, go and research for yourself. This man has been marketed and he has been allowed to be in a position to call all the shots and take advantages over everyone across the ring opposite him until he ran across Floyd Mayweather Jr., where he didn't dictate those terms. But he also had a couple of other near-miss situations, like with Araceli Lara, okay, where it was very close and it looked like, oh, we may have to curtail this and go back and do things a different way. And they found their niche. But I don't drink that poison, Reggie. I don't drink it. Now, as far as Callum Smith, what a disgraceful performance this man put on this evening. Okay? Because not only is he representing the sport of boxing from across the pond from the UK, he's representing a family that has already invested in the opportunity of the Canelo Alvarez experience. And he fought with zero passion. He fought with zero spirit. He fought with zero approach to trying to win. From the opening bell, this man took steps backwards. He's 6'3", and Canelo Alvarez is 5'7" on a good day. Okay? With the reach he has, which is that of a heavyweight, he should have been able to throw a line in the sand and say, hey, get past this right here. And it's called the kiss, like Riddick Bowe used to say, the jab. Okay? And when he did not do that, the fight was over. The one thing that Canelo can do is he can cut the ring off, okay, and he can come forward. And when you give him no resistance, okay, no resistance whatsoever, eventually he's going to come in and start breaking you down. Now, this man was very tall, very awkward and lanky and whatnot, and he wasn't able to get to him like he would get to a lot of other guys. But look at the man's face when the fight was over. He was in a fight. He got banged up, as they like to say in the UK, chat crap and get banged. He got banged, whether he chatted crap or not. But what I didn't see was any fire from the corner. I didn't see anything that said, hey, man, we came to win. You know, Custody Amato coined that phrase, that fire and desire in there. Bad intentions. Where was that? Where was the idealism that says, or ideology, excuse me, when you come in there and you say, man, I come here to take this sucker's dinner. You understand? At no point during this fight did he do that. When did you say, or see, excuse me, when did you see him push Canelo back and attack him and go after him? Remember how Buster Douglas was doing Mike Tyson? Give him that little shoulder move out there, bop, hit him with that jab, and bop, 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 fire those combinations, push that sucker up off of you. Where was that? That's fighting with spirit. You got judges sitting out there, and you're a professional fighter. It ain't like he got 7 or 8 fights. Okay? Callum should understand, readily understand, that when you're out there and you're taking all of those steps backwards like that, how in the hell can they give you any points? Huh? He might as well been doing moonwalking in the ring. And then why is a big guy, 6'3", probably closer to 6'4", why is he on the ropes? There was nothing. I could see if Canelo was a devastating puncher and you were trying to stay safe and look good, this and that or whatever, but that was not the case. Canelo might be heavy-handed, but it was obvious that he didn't have the type of power to take Smith out of there. And thank goodness for that, because Smith would have probably went down in the second round or something like that, because he don't have no heart. He's a freaking coward. And I'm sick of watching guys with a cowardice disposition get in there and face off against someone who's not great yet. Okay? Not great yet. He's not great yet because he hasn't been tested. Where someone goes in there and asks questions of him. Floyd Mayweather Jr. won a decision over Canelo, but there was no effort of Floyd that called into question what's really in Canelo. He outboxed him. That was it. So did Lara. But in the fight game, there comes a time, and this is where some of those veteran, retired champions don't like to give him his credit, because those questions haven't been asked. And he's not fighting the type of fighters that will bring those questions into the center of that ring. So forgive me for not rubbing his ass and tickling his balls, because I'm not going to do that. That's for you fanboys out there to do. But I'm going to call it like it is. Until a man is challenged, until someone wants to pop him in his mouth, someone wants to beat his ass, you don't get that from me. I don't care who you are. You understand? Because this is boxing, prized fighting, and you fight for a prize. But sometimes you have to fight for something a little bit more. You have to have the spirit of conquering. The man who was in there tonight in Callum Smith was a man who was there to be conquered. He might as well have run, turn around, pull his pants down, and bend over and touch his toes. Because that's the kind of performance that he put on. And you got fighters out there who have fought professionally from the UK. You got the Nigel Benns, huh? You got the Joe Calzaghes, Chris Eubanks. Those men went out on their shields when they fought. Win, lose, or draw. They put it on the line. Where was that from this guy? Where was it? And you're fighting on foreign soil, which is like the U.S., right? So you come over here to stink up the joint like that? His own countrymen should be ripping him 8 ways from Sunday. This is freaking ridiculous that the men who fight opposite Alvarez, and it's not Alvarez's fault totally, because once the bell rings, you could go out there and do your thing. But there's something awfully consistent about this, isn't it? Think about it. Name the last 3 to 4 opponents that he has faced since he defeated Triple G, and the performances that they turned in against him. I'll wait when you show me where they drew that line in the sand and say, I'm going out here to beat this sucker's butt. We haven't seen that, and you ain't gonna see it, because you know what? There was cowardice in boxing today. Where are the other champions out there who are not calling him out? Good guys who can fight. But it's like when it comes to him, they don't even mention his name. Demetrius Andrade was on the broadcast tonight and was actually scared to say anything that came close to saying, I want to be next. He may as well had on some gold tip taps, because he sure didn't represent as a fighter who would display that he wanted to be in there and be the next man up to go out there and say, hey, I throw down the challenge. Okay? You ain't seen it, and you're not going to see it. Like I said, if you like drinking dirty water, keep putting your mouth on the end of the water hose. I can't guarantee that that's going to be water that comes through that hose to go down your throat, though. But if you want to be real about this, listen to what I'm saying and go back and check for yourself everything that I was talking about, from the former champions to the fights on the resume to the history of what is transpiring since the loss to Floyd Mayweather Jr. for Canelo, and observe closely. The information, the writing is on the wall. It's right there. And the next time we see Callum Smith, okay, it should be on a ship leaving town somewhere. And I ain't even talking about going back to the UK. He don't need to go back to the UK. He need to head for the hills, because he is a coward, not a fighter. David Benavidez lost his title on the scales. All right. But that man should have been fighting for his title again, just for a pound or so. Right? But they didn't bring him back. They brought another man in. David Benavidez was there the entire time. Where was Canelo looking to challenge him? off of his victory over Darrell, where was Canelo saying, hey, I want this guy next? And let's not hear that, oh, I don't want to fight fellow Mexicans anymore or any of that crap. He wanted the belt, right? Well, that's the man who had the belt. Benavidez is a good fighter. You beat that young man, and guess what? I could give you some credit. Because he's big, he's strong, he's accomplished. And he was on track for making some name and legacy for himself. And he deserves a big money fight because of his talent. And you could have garnered a tremendous amount of respect had you gone that route. But fighting another stiff, Cal in the beanstalk? Hell no, I ain't giving you no credit for that. What the hell is this? And for anybody out there that thinks that this man is great off of these type of accomplishments, you need to go back to school, bro. Because that ain't how it is. That's not how it's made. Not in the sport of boxing. Maybe in the back rooms where they make shady deals. Huh? Because that exists in the sport of boxing as well. Huh? Where guys come in just to lay down. And laying down don't always mean going down on the canvas. It means fighting with your hands tied. Huh? It means making a non-effort. AKA the rematch that took place between Editorial Alvarez and Sergey Kovalev. If you saw the first fight between those two, he put hands on Kovalev and put him out for real. It wasn't no sham. In the rematch, the man hardly threw any punches at Kovalev whatsoever. If you just knock this guy out in the first fight with throwing your combinations and putting him on his chin, why in the rematch are you just standing there looking at him? Go back and look at the punch stats for that fight and see how many punches that a leader threw at him. Then you think about it, and they put Kovalev after that in with Anthony Yarde. And Anthony Yarde nearly dusted him up with no experience whatsoever of having a step-up fight. So guess what? They looked at Kovalev and said, hey, he might be ripe for the picking. And you know what kind of picking I'm talking about, right? Them bushels of cherries, huh? I'm telling the truth. You could go back and look at it for yourself. Kovalev, with all that outside of the ring problem and everything, they say, look here, man. We can take care of all of that negative press and everything that can find you behind bars. We can take care of that. Why don't you just let our man come over here and, knock you out? We'll even give you a deal. You can come over here on this network and make a few more dollars and, get your name back out there like you're rebuilding or coming back or whatever. And guess what? Early next year, he's coming back on DAZN. Kovalev, who should be locked up in somebody's prison for what he did to that woman. For the women that he's done things to. Huh? But that's my opening statement on this, Reggie. You got something else?
Nah, man, I'm just disgusted watching this dang fight. And also being the fact that we didn't get to watch Jaron Ennis, and then these fools come out here and drop this dud. But I don't even know where Canelo goes after this. Like, who is he going to fight? Is he going to fight anyone? Is he going to take a challenge? But it's like this Callum Smith dude come out here and gave no effort. The last time I remember seeing him in America, he didn't fight like this. He let his hands go. He let his jab go. He let his hooks go. He threw him with intentions. He threw stuff out here to miss on Canelo. He didn't give no effort of trying. It's like, matter of fact, it's like, what's your point of coming over to this country to fight for these titles if your whole intention is to come and fight like that and being a tall fighter backing up? What are you backing up? Canelo didn't give him nothing to back up from. Canelo couldn't touch him to get him to back up. What the heck? The only time I can say for a fighter to back up is when you're getting hit with something. Canelo wasn't hitting this dude with nothing. And Canelo didn't really tear his face up until the dang ninth. I lost track of what round the fight was in, but I think it might have been like the 9th or 10th round when he started leaning his head forward for Canelo to hit against the ropes. Is where he started getting busted up. But it's like, other than that, what are you backing up for? Canelo ain't touching you with nothing. What are you laying on the ropes for? He ain't hitting you with nothing. I mean, nothing made sense of what this dude did, but money. That's the only thing that made sense of what he went in here and did. And it was very suspect looking at this event. I mean, he didn't give Canelo 1 inch of resistance. Not 1 inch of resistance. And it wasn't like Canelo was beating him. These rounds were so dang close because it wasn't that much activity that Canelo was giving. He worked his jab. He would lead off in the rounds, jab, keep Canelo outside. Canelo can't throw a punch with him. And then he just let it go. Okay, I did enough. Now let Canelo start taking back the round. I was like, man, I'm disgusted by this damn fight. But along with everything else that they done did to delay this fight, pushing it back, all this national anthem stuff, this concert stuff, the bull crap with this production, it looked bad for the sport of boxing. Does nothing for this damn sport. And that's why I want to see Colin come in here to defeat this dude so he can stop all this kind of bull crap and get new fresh movements within the sport and make Canelo have to be hungry again. Is the reason why I wanted him to win. Like I say, I like Canelo, but I don't like the antics that he pulls. But a defeat will change who Canelo is and make him have to re-hustle to try to reignite himself. Otherwise, he walks from the game. But this clown comes way over here for nothing. You done waste all them airline miles. The dang plane ought to kick you out in the middle of the sky, man. That's how I feel about this clown. That's all I got, man. I'm disgusted by that whack fight, man.
And let me say this and add this to it, Reggie. Just the night before, we got a chance to see Triple G, okay? And in watching him, we heard these people try to state that he is now, past Bernard Hopkins and title defenses, huh? And, just the boldness in them speaking like this and saying these kind of things, which are not true, and we talked about that on the Chop session last night. But it's the same type of BS narrative that they push to make somebody look like they're better than they are. The eye test, as I say, you know what I mean? When you watch a guy and you say let's say you watch football. And if you ever saw Jim Brown or Tony Dorsett, Walter Payton, what was my man out there? Sanders, Barry Sanders. If you ever watched those guys, Emmitt Smith, huh? You was watching somebody special. Who around today are you looking at as special as those guys? Huh? And the thing is, what if the announcers are trying to tell you that the guy, whoever, is the top guy today, is better than any of those men that I ran the names off of, right? And you're like, well, he don't his yard per carry ain't even close. He don't break away, he don't break tackles, he can't catch out of the backfield, he can't do this, can't do that. It's like, but they telling you, oh, he's the best since we've seen in the 20th century. It's like, really? Really? That should make you stop watching football. This is what they're doing in boxing. This is what they're doing in boxing. They're telling you some of these guys are better than past greats, and they haven't even done anything great. Just like Vasily Lomachenko lost to Orlando Salido, right? He lost to him. They still try to make it like he was better than that, right? And the funny part about that, Reggie, is this. He lost again, but it's like when you look at guys like Canelo, he lost to Mayweather. Where's that desire to Want to get that get back. Want a rematch. You know, let's see. I want to prove I can win. I want to prove I can beat the guy. Where is that desire for that? It doesn't exist. Because as long as they got people telling you he's greater than he is, he don't have to put the work in. He don't have to put the work in. Remember that. Salute to the brother Curtis Anderson out there, a.k.a. Kurt Sugar. He says they're trying to push Canelo as the king of boxing and pound for pound. It's a campaign to catapult him over every fighter, especially the American ones. I agree, Kurt. 100. And thank you again for the super chat donation, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. What is that? This is, I'm telling you, Reggie, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. But I don't have to consign to that, man. I am not going to continue to perpetuate the lies. You know, we watched this guy last night, and they tried to do to us with him what they did with Vasily Lomachenko when they showed him on ESPN and that loss in his column. This was before the Teofimo fight, right? It magically disappeared when they showed his record on the screen. That goes out worldwide, right? ESPN, the worldwide network of sports. So they knew what they were doing. But how many of us sat up there when we saw that and we was like, man, did you see this crap? This is BS. What are they doing? This is crap, man. And I haven't even touched on the fact that the guy has popped dirty with PEDs. I haven't even touched on that. There's plenty of others out here that can give you the rundown on that foolishness. But man, this is crap. Callum Smith is crap. And be gone. I'm glad he'll be up out of here. Because he ain't nobody that we need to see anytime soon again, if ever. And I hope his own people, meaning the nation, the country over there, give it to him. Give him the entire business because he deserves it. With that lackluster, cowardice effort that he put out there. And for those of you that want to say, well, he's a guy, he get in the ring. And, you know, when a man gets in the ring, you got to respect him. Let me tell you something about that. There are plenty of others who step in that ring that would have given a wholehearted effort way stronger than what he did. And they made certain that they did not pick that person for the opponent. So get the hell out of here with that. Put that, fold that up on a piece of paper, pull your pants down and stick it up your rear end. Huh? That's what I got to say about that. What else you want, Reggie? What else you got on this, man?
Nothing, man. And the other thing I'm mad at is the damn Charlo brother, man. Like, where the hell is he at? You got Earl Spence showing up to the fight. Everybody showing the fight. And to see your goddamn state. When you gonna show up to challenge this damn dude? And he's talking about he ain't calling this guy out. Like, why not? Why the hell you ain't calling this dude out, man? I mean, I just don't get it with these dudes, man. But I got nothing on Canelo. I was just looking for when he gonna fight somebody and really get himself in a situation at this point to where he fights somebody who is very risky for him. Other than that, man, every time I watch him, I'm just looking to see him lose or really show himself. I want to see him in a real test, man. Not no trilogy against Triple G. But I don't know, man. I'm just thinking about the damn Charlo brother. Why he ain't at none of these fights? Why he ain't on social media? He ain't doing none of this crap. And I'm tired of seeing who the hell he's fighting. But that's some thoughts I got on it, OG.
Yeah, and that's that contentment that I was talking about when I mentioned Demetrius Andrade. You see, because these guys, they're acting like they lose their voice when it comes to this man for whatever reason. But that's a more telling ideology about who they are at the spirit of things. They're content with where they are, being second rate. Now, if you want to talk about, like you heard me do the Thunderous Top 10 last night, and I mentioned Charlo and his position of where he is on that list, right? Talking about Maul here. If you don't want to do what you need to do to step up and make things happen, and you're just happy with that, maybe you should lose the respect. Maybe you should lose the ranking and everything, because they're not going to hand you anything. Sometimes you just got to kick the freaking door in, right? But no, this was a chance, and you didn't do it. And you saw Demetrius Andre, the way he was behaving on the broadcast. They brought him over there to be just a guy with a face of color and sit there and just uphold this man and say, hey, yeah, he's great. He's pound for pound and this and that. Well, where are you in all of this? Where do you want to be in all of this? Nowhere? Okay, then there's no need to even put a microphone in front of your face, is it? And there's no need to tune in to your matches whenever you're going to have one, because you fight so infrequently, we forget your name anyway. Huh? Go sit the hell down somewhere in the bleachers, away from cameras. Were you able to see any of the Jaron Ennis fight? Reggie.
Yeah, wait. There we go. I was trying to come off mute. Yeah. No, I caught his fight, man. He ended up looking. He started the fight off looking well, man. He started off well, the speed. He started off Paul coming out there, putting it on Van Herden. He touched Van Herden up something vicious. Early bruising. Van Herden looked confused, didn't know what to do, couldn't make any adjustments. So Van Herden went to another strategy, just trying to throw off punches. He just started trying to let his hands go, and is placing his punches beautifully. Everywhere he threw a punch, he touched Van Herden. He was connecting almost what seemed to be like he was on 100% connect rate on Van Herden. And unfortunately, when he got into a moment of Van Herden kind of going, shelling up, moving against his ropes, just trying to get out the way. He cut off the ring anywhere Van Herden moved. It was at the moment in this first round where Van Herden was going to fire off a shot. He's throwing a shot, moving in. Bam! Both of their heads clashed. He split Van Herden's forehead wide open, and that was all she wrote. So he didn't even get I think they call it a no decision or something like that. So it's like, seeing that excitement, that's what messed the night up going to this Canelo thing, is that this fight didn't continue on. So we didn't get to really see Jaron Ennis in his first, true step up against a veteran type opponent who we, view the kind of whoop on, but it's unfortunate we didn't get to see more work out of him.
Yeah. I felt like Herden caused that headbutt on purpose. I feel like he was getting bested. He felt those body shots that Boots was putting on him, and the pressure and the speed, and he resigned. He bounced off of those ropes as Ennis was coming in and hit him with his head. He made it look good enough that it didn't look blatant, but if you saw that camera angle that they showed from the quarter top, it was definitely a situation where he knew what he was doing. And he got the result that he wanted because he got out of the fight. I do not like these fighters coming out here with this effeminate manner and approach to the sport of boxing. I just can't get with it. What the hell were you there for? And for someone to say, well, he got a payday. You know what? He can go and be a sparring partner for somebody and make payday. But to go out there and put on a performance like that, and then to cause injury like that, Boots is lucky that he didn't get cut. Because the kind of cut that happened to Herden could have happened to Boots. And that cut right there looked almost like the cut that what's his name had on his forehead. What's his name, Reggie?
Wait, which one?
The one who against Marcus Brown, they got the cut on his forehead. Who we
Badu Jack.
Huh?
Badu Jack.
Badu Jack. There you go. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of his name, Snappy, as I was thinking of the fight. But Badu Jack, yeah, that cut was every bit as nasty as Badu Jack's cut. And Heerden's name should be forgotten forevermore. Because if that's how you're going to come out there and perform, we don't need nobody in boxing like that. And just thank God that Ennis didn't get the cut and that he did. So he could go somewhere and sit with himself and contemplate on things. And as I was speaking behind the scenes about the fight, Ennis is going to have to be mindful of things like that. And every other fighter out here that may be on the come up, that's not experienced in everything, to understand and know there will be guys out there who try to do things like that to you and take your future and opportunity away from you. Because once cuts start opening up around your eyes, that's a chink in your armor that's been made that can always rear its head at an unexpected time. So you got to protect yourself. You got to get that head off a line when you're throwing punches. You got to slip punches and move out of the way. And you got to keep your hands out in front of you. I tell you all the time about these guys that keep their hands low, right? But you got to keep your hands out in front of you, because not only can you stop that foolishness, but you let a fool run into your elbow and your forearm a few times, they'll stop doing that mess. Tricks of the trade. I'm telling you. That's why I say a lot of these guys, they got more knockouts than they have fights, and they win championships before they even learn how to fight. But he's very lucky that he didn't get that this evening. And it was a tough situation that he didn't even get out of the first round. But hey, man, it happens in the sport. It happens. But be mindful of that in the future, because it comes with elbows, headbutts, and things like that. You know, it happens. And it can definitely set you on the sidelines for a length of time, if not sideline your career. So just be mindful. Any other fights or anything else you saw this evening that you want to talk on, Reggie? We move on if you want.
Nah, man, it was whack, man. Even the Sanchez fight, who I think is supposed to be the co-main for this, they put him in an opponent that dude looked like he was a Bridgerweight fighter. They put him in against a Bridgerweight heavyweight, and the dude gave no resistance. The dude couldn't act like he couldn't throw a jab. He looked scared. Sanchez over pursuing stuff. Had the guy hurt pretty bad, like in the second round or something, and just messed his work up, being over aggressive, trying to fire off shots, missing everything in the moment this dude is hurt, and struggled to get him out of there. But he eventually got the guy out of there, like in the ninth round or something like that. Finally landed the punch that he needed, knocked the guy through the ropes. But other than that, it wasn't that eventful of the fight. The guy holding, the guy trying to rile up the Mexican crowd because he's from Mexico, but he didn't do nothing. He telling Sanchez to come on, waving his hands up, and it was just, man, it wasn't. I didn't see too much of nothing tonight. See a little bit of the Gary Russell brother fight. Didn't see why that fight was stopped. Did not see why that fight was stopped. But it was just this Canelo thing messed everything up for me, man. And then not to see Jerron finish his work. And I like when Jerron came out there, he wasn't playing around. He fought very hard and serious, and this accident ended up happening. But he can learn from it. And the good thing he came out of that headbutt unscathed. But that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, I didn't think very much of those other fights either. I don't have much comment on them. That Sanchez fight was atrocious. He finally hit the guy on the chin and got him up out of there. But it's like, hey, you know, he piddled around for, like you say, 7-8 rounds before he got him out of there. And that was crazy. That was crazy. And then on the Showtime card, Rodriguez, Manny Rodriguez lost to the young Filipino guy, and that was kind of weird because I was scoring that fight and watching it, and I had Manny outboxing the guy, but through a split decision, they give it to the young Filipino fighter. And that was politics because here they go playing that game. But it's a shame because Manny was trying to box and stay in a position of controlling, but he probably backed up a little too much and didn't take the fight to the guy, you know, at moments in the fight. He didn't have to do it for the whole fight, but there should have been moments where he was being more decisive. But I could understand him possibly being a little gun shy because in that World Super Series fight that he had with Inoue, he got KO'd quickly by Inoue by punches that he admittedly said himself he didn't see these shots that Inoue had hit him with after he had got stunned from the first knockdown. So it's back to the drawing board for him and the young Filipino fighter that defeated him, Raymart Caballo. This guy, you know, I think he came into the fight with, he was 23-0 or something like that with 20 knockouts. Looks like a heavy-handed guy, but very crude, not much boxing technique. So I think he's managed by Manny Pacquiao as well. So they're trying to bring another guy into the sport to possibly take up the mantle after Manny's done. But it takes more than just being a guy from the country. You know, you got to have some skill and ability. And the guy didn't have a lot of what Manny had when Manny was very good. So, but yeah, man, that's pretty much it, you know, Reggie. This has been the post-fight show for me. I didn't like these matches this weekend. I didn't like the results. I didn't like the promotion. There was a lot I didn't like, and I'm a little salty and bitter, especially with Callum Smith. Just a big, dumb, goofy. I never want to see that dude again. Never, ever do I want to see that guy again. And he's just a poor excuse for a professional fighter. You know what I'm saying? Just like, really? You could have mailed that in, brother. Could have mailed that in. And there's a lot more I could say, but I'm not just trying to turn it into that. But it's like, that's how disgusted I am. If I worked in his corner, I would have told him one of those Teddy Atlas speeches by about round 3 or 4. I'd be like, man, you come back, I ain't even going to be in the corner. You're going to work the rest of the fight by yourself. Fighting like this. Backing up against the ropes and everything. Yo, big lurch looking butt. You 6'4" out there, and this man is 5'6". You understand? And you backing away from him and everything. Where's your fire? Where's your spirit? Keep the fight in the center of the ring and push that sucker back to the ropes. When did he ever have Canelo on the ropes? Just garbage, man. But yeah, give us your final thoughts, Reggie. We can get on out of here, and I know you got to get to the ladies this evening, so.
Yeah, man, these fools dropped a straight dud, a nuclear level dud on us, man, with this crap. But that's all I got, man. This pissed me off on the fight. I hurried up and got everything done early, expecting some excitement. Was looking lucky I ain't go put in the bet because I was thinking maybe this big fool can come and do something. Thank God I ain't go down there. But he dropped the dud. It was trash, man. But man, we got to hope that 2021 give us a good year of some great boxing as we get ready to close this year out. But thanks for everybody coming through. Salute to the OG. But man, I'm still pissed. I might be pissed off on the show. We about to do thing about these trash fights. But that's all I got.
Yeah, man. And I'll take it a look. They dropped a turd tonight, and it stank, Reggie. It wasn't no Lysol and no Febreze or nothing to get the stench out the air. They dropped a real smelly one there, man. And I don't want no more of that, man. That was nasty. But yeah, man, that's all I got as well. This has been the post-fight show, you know, where we talked about Canelo Alvarez and Callum. And I hope that you guys can enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll catch you on the next one as we close out the year. I guess we'll see some more good fights around the first of the year, because I don't think there's anything coming up next week or whatever. It's Christmas and whatnot. But yeah, man, what a year. We could probably do an end of the year show or something like that, Reggie, if you're interested. But I just, this one right here was a stinky one, bro. It was a stinky one. So coming from me, man, I'm gonna get on out of here, let you get on out of here, and let everybody that's in the chat, we appreciate you stopping by, checking us out for the post-fight show, and we'll catch you guys on the next one, man. Peace.